interesting
I feel like that's
strategy.
the only team I could see doing
Maybe
it.
it was AL because one of the early narratives for ALs where they were red side warriors. They really wanted to give Flandra counter picks, so I think that may have been them. Really interesting.
That's
Okay, let's
wild,
see if
though,
this pays
man.
off. This is a gambit here coming in from the side of ThunderTalk, giving over blue side to TES. So
The Nefiri
first pick,
ban.
okay. I mean, Gwen's already gone. Nefiri's banned. So honestly, I'm thinking about some AD junglers. I'm looking at Xin I'm looking at maybe some of AD carries that have kind of gone throughout the wayside.
Could be a little bit of focus towards that bot lane. I wouldn't mind seeing it. The Callista is something that always gets banned away in the second phase. Maybe this time around, trying to give JackeyLove the keys to the kingdom to drive around top esports here. But it is going to be that Yone. Probably a very hefty win condition for top esports' comp going forward now as well, with most likely piloted by Creme.
Yeah, so does ThunderTalk immediately try to snap up the Sejuani, try to break up that pair between them and the Yone? I think the Yone is also a good takeaway from a player like SeTab, who unfortunately has had his pool really constricted so far. I mean, already taking away the Akali we saw in Game 1, a lot of those bans head his way. ThunderTalk are going to break up the kind of the two duo of Sejuani and Yone, and so what solo lanes are they really going to be able to pair? What melees are we going to be looking for? Again, I'm kind of seeing this. Probably going to be expecting an Ambessa from the side of Hoya.
I'm just like, when I come out of this draft, I'm just laying it down here for everybody. When I come out of this draft, TT need to have by far and away the better composition. You choose to be on red side against a comp like top esports, like you better have a damn plan. Right now, they stole away that Sejuani, maybe adapting their plans a little bit to what top esports want. But that Corki is going to be flexible.
Corki definitely gives them a little bit of ease. We haven't seen too much Corki mid. It has definitely kind of fallen to the wayside. Only a few of our mid laners still picking up this marksman. Okay. All right, TES. So we wanted to see a better composition from ThunderTalk. TS are going to say, well, we're just going to slam you in the laning phase. We do not think you're going to be willing or able to play a late game team fight up against us. So we're going to try and smash our lanes, play through our priority, and let Kanavi run the game. We came into this series talking about the veterancy of Kanavi versus the journeyman of Beichuan, and now we're going to be able to see it, I think, in full force in this game.
I'm geeking out over here, man. We get to see this top lane dominance with the Renekton, the Nidalee, and the Yone combo. I mean, that is absolute solo lane heaven there. What can be the answer for TT? They're going to need something before they go into the second phase, and the Ornn is the choice here for Hoya.
Okay, good matchup into the Renekton, especially early on. You get a lot of really great resistances. Side lane, you're going to obviously be a lot more tanky. But it's going to be about how much experience can Hoya actually draft for himself, as he has typically been a bit someone that has overgrouped and tended to neglect some of his side lanes. So TT have a very, very robust team fight. Now they need the damage dealers to really be able to flesh out the rest of this composition.
Now I'm wondering what those damages are going to be. I was actually wondering if they were going to go with the Kai'Sa themselves. They are going to ban it away, though, and it is right now a lot of that setup for Chris being focused by TT with that Nautilus ban, and you do expect there to be a lot of emphasis on what Crisp is going to be playing in this one to kind of set up the rest of the team with so many carry potentials.
So, with the expectation that this Corki is going bottom lane, I am looking at SeTab here. What mid lane champions can we really kind of start to think about? Aurora is still up and available. We've seen his rise beforehand, especially into a Yone, something that can get a lot of value with how short range TS are looking.
Dude, top esports hate 1xN, man. They just they're like,
wow.
This guy, we know he's the one that could potentially carry for TT, and they want to block him out. It will be the Leona locked in. I know you're talking about that for last game. It's going to be here for Feather in Game 2.
Good into what they're showing. I personally would have also liked to have seen the Braum on ThunderTalk's side. I think against two of those melees and this Nidalee could have offered them a lot more. We get to finally see what AD carry is snapped up here. Again, with Kai'Sa and Jinx gone already, I think it definitely opens up. We're getting Callista. Now, is this Renata or is this Nico
coming in? It has to be Renata.
Crisp?
Renata feels so good here, right? Like, if anything, whatever you're going to go for TT, it's got to be a follow-through with Sejuani and Ornn, and you're going to have that hostile takeover to delay any of that.
So ThunderTalk, they want a fight that goes on for a really long time. TES have this 1-2 punch with either the Nidalee coming in with a Yone, or they have this Kalista. I don't think Ezreal's it. I'm going to be honest. You have all this front line. I really, like, Sejuani kind of feels like you got left out to dry. This bottom lane matchup is going to be very volatile. So whoever gets control of brushes early is definitely going to come out in the advantage. We've seen it more and more pop up as a matchup. And Lennon, I feel like ThunderTalk, we said that they needed an overwhelmingly better draft than their opponents, and I just don't think this is it.
XXXXXXX. I think that there was a plan in place, and then they saw what Top Esports were about to get with the Yone Sejuani combo, and they had to divert. They had to steal that one away from them, and maybe that changes how they wanted to go about the rest of it. I think this is a very tough draft to deal with Top Esports' hand of dealing, and it's definitely one of those situations where Top Esports said, we got an inkling that we were better than you in game number 1. Now we're going to prove it to you.
And for the side of ThunderTalk, obviously, they just need to be able to withhold and withstand some of the first punches thrown by Top Esports. If the Yone isn't able to get into the back line, if 369 isn't able to create havoc with this Renekton, with things like the Dominus and the Sterix Gauge, then more than likely, we're going to see them flounder in a lot of team fights. So range is going to be so important, and how SeTab and 1xN play is going to basically make or break this game for them.
Yeah, they have huge carry potential on their side of things, but a lot of onus on what Top Esports are going to be looking to do around the map. I need to see this Kanavi Nidalee be proactive on the map and keep pressure up against the Sejuani. Can be a little difficult as it goes, but definitely keeping an eye on how much influence this bot lane can get. The first time we're getting to see Kalista here for a long while, always banned away. JackeyLove's only played it one other time so far in the split. But you also have to remember, this is Top Esports' 4th best of 3 of the week. These guys are running the absolute gauntlet right now, and they want to finish strong with a 2-0 over TT. Can Thunder start talking to get into game 2?
The rest of the ThunderTalk fans went home, bro, after game 1.
Bro, they're still there. They're still there, all right? I heard them. They're getting popcorn.
Yeah, maybe that's the case. Okay, so opening spread here for ThunderTalk, or for TES. Just trying to see if they can fish for a little bit of damage, getting emotes between the two top laners at least. But we are going to be tracking Kanavi in this early game as this Nidalee needs to be able to steal away camps from Sejuani, needs to be very annoying in the side lanes. And how do the laners of TES augment this superstar jungler here in the LPL?
Yeah, anytime you give this guy the Nidalee, it's like a switch is turned on. It's a different Top Esports than when we see him on the facilitators, when we see him on these things that are trying to enable 369 or Creme or JackeyLove. No, this is the King Kanavi show. And against Beichuan, who I think had such an onus or such a spotlight on him for TT in so many of their kind of come-up moments over this year. It's just fitting that Kanavi does truly want to make him kneel here, I guess.
Do you know what Kanavi's all-time record on Italy is?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm going to guess it's like 57% win rate.
He has 36 games total. He has lost 9 of them. He has a 75% win rate on this Italy.
That's dirty.
Dirty
that
stuff
is
to be
absolutely
seeing
dirty.
from one of the most tenured and obviously one of the most storied players here in the LPL, at least from the past couple years especially. So here for TES, both of the junglers are going towards the top side of the map. And again, how 369 kind of is able to play around this Orin, it's really hard to push him around, especially once the wave is under the turret. So we need to see how TES are able to play around the top side focus and some of the priority that is granted.
Again, we'll see what this evolved form of Top Esports can be. Again, just feels like a different beast when Kanavi is on the Nidalee. He's going to go for this aggressive path on the Beichuan, try to go for this level 3 advantage. Again, it is a Sejuani. It can be tough. He spots him out, misses the first spear, but still going with the claws into the piggy's back. Going to get about half health, get that burn going, and steal away the Krugs. He will be on vision for all of this, but Kanavi making some early plays.
And excuse me, now he gets 3 quadrants of jungle to himself. Really good start. I mean, that ward on the Raptors did enough damage to ThunderTalk as it is in terms of information gains. But now, if he really wants, he can just go ahead, take his red buff, take his blue side camps, and then Beichuan's like, all right, well, I'm getting bot side scuttle, and then does anybody want a gank? I think the only way you're really kind of looking at this is maybe a top lane gank, maybe with bottom lane crashing. There's a possibility for Beichuan to answer for one of these lanes.
He's going to need to find an answer. You can't just give 3 quadrants up to an Italy and expect things to be fine. Go into this bot lane. Maybe this is the play, but they've got the push. The wave is crashing, and now Beichuan by himself on the other side of the fight will have to back away and try to use the speed up from the scuttle. SeTab under turret. Creme tanking an extra turret shot. Going to get the primal surge there from Kanavi. Beichuan gets the flash out of Creme. Creme's about to go down, but first blood goes to Kanavi. Creme trying to get away. Run away.
No.
He gets away. Kanavi tries to follow up with his own kill. Spear will not connect, but Creme just made out like a bandit.
Wow, insane stuff. And we know we were talking about the expertise, level of expertise that Creme has on these melee champions, on the Akali. Well, Yone, not all that dissimilar. And so being able to really squeeze all of that damage and getting 2 summoner spells out of SeTab and Beichuan, massive win there for Top Esports.
God, the solo lane focus today has been immaculate for Top Esports as we take a look back at it.
I mean, he just gets out of this. Kanavi kind of scaring me a little bit there with the turret, but this right here from Creme gets the Q3, 17 HP. Thank you to our observers for clicking.
Buffered it.
3 HP. He gets away with the Fate Unsealed. Oh my.
He buffered the permafrost with the Q3. Like, that's actually insane. Oh God, watching this guy play melee mids, it's just so fun. And now Top Esports, with this little bit of a lead, have moved some pieces around the map because grubs are coming up at about 40 seconds, keeping JackeyLove and Crisp in mid lane to getting ready for that side of the fight.
And instead of playing, they said, look, we know that this game is going to scale, that TT are probably not going to be the team that play on side lanes as much as we are able to. So let's just cut them out from underneath. Take these dragons, let's put a little bit of priority, and we'll have to see where TES are going to throw their weight around. You know, they have this bottom lane that constantly has priority in the mid lane. So where are they going to move out onto the map after taking some plates?
He's not going to proc the demolish. They still get the plate anyways. It's fine.
Okay.
But there's a lot of pings already moving from Top Esports up towards this first spawn of grubs. A redeploy from Beichuan out towards bot side. So it does seem like TT are willingly giving up this. And I think it fits to a T and maybe another T. What we were talking about from the draft and what they want to try to hold on and try to keep away from this surging pressure that Top Esports are going to be putting in.
I think at 15 to 18 minutes, if ThunderTalk are not at a massive disadvantage, oh my god, I'm choking up.
They'll die.
My body even tells me this isn't true.
This isn't true. It's not letting you speak.
Wow.
Get some water.
ThunderTalk.
Get some water, Fred.
Dude, I'm dying. Dude, ThunderTalk, please, man. Just scale, please. You can hit 3-item Corki, you can hit 3-item Orin. I think it's playable there.
There you go. As Hoya getting surrounded here now. As Crisp is just looking for something to do. Creme actually looking for an all-in himself. Does have the Fate sealed. Hoya also has the Horn available to him. Still Flash available as well. So a lot of safety there. Dragon not started up by TT with that counterplay from the grubs. So we'll continue to see that objective sit on the map. And Kanavi just going to get this one and probably back.
I kind of like this coming out from 369. Actually went for the Cole into the matchup, recognizing I'm not doing anything into this Orin, bro. I'm pushing waves. So monetarily, I think that TES are going to be happy with where they are. They are picking up some pretty important spikes. Those Berserker Greaves already done for both Yone and the Callista. So in terms of power, they're going to be that much more in terms of their opponents. And so, again, we're kind of looking at TT. 2-3-item power spike is going to be really massive for them, but their ability to actually deal damage and then subsequently win fights, kind of questionable from that point on. So later this game goes, Orin gives so many of stats from the Masterwork items, but you got to reach that point. And the problem for ThunderTalk is they have not been the best team at being able to play the map, and nor so being able to even kind of hold their own and sacrifice enough. You look at the top lane, 369's already 30 CS over his opponent.
Yeah, it's actually insane, man. He's like almost up an entire level over him as well. Is up an entire level over him, and now JackeyLove starting to put the hands on 1xN here on this matchup of this Kalista that we never see them get, or anybody for that matter. 369, though, he has found a couple combos, flashes out of one of them, gets hit by Hoya, though, on the back end of it, trying to heal up as much as he can, get this rage stacking with the dominance, get another heal coming potentially, but he is still in a 1v2 and will fall to Beichuan.
But look at this. This was just to try to bail Hoya out of a really tough spot. They're going to lose bottom side. They're going to lose access to this first Drake as well. So what does ThunderTalk actually get out of that, aside from just barely letting Hoya survive the matchup for another 20 seconds? You've now given up a lot in terms of objectives. As the team who wants to be able to scale, you still need to be able to at least contest somewhere on the map.
And keep their heads above water. Right now, that water level rising just a bit. We do have mirror builds from both Creme and JackeyLove getting closer and closer to those first items, but going to be delayed a little bit with those first boots starts. And we do have to think another spawn of grubs coming up in about a minute and 5 seconds or so. Try to see how much priority TT can put over on that side. Do you think it's just that they're willing to go down 6 grubs?
I would really think that this game's incredibly difficult to play. Maybe they try to make this play after Creme gets out of his E. There's no level 6 here for Feather. Feather is level 5 just now.
But
they
Creme just expended everything on that engage. They planned it out, and Feather ends up coming away with the kill. Now he might be able to get to level 6 a little bit sooner. But that was a planned play from TT on bot side.
Okay, so now what they need to be able to do is reset, go towards the top side of the map. They'll enter towards these grubs a little bit late, but Beichuan should have the ultimate. Feather should be able to at least soak experience from one of these lanes and hit level 6 soon. But it seems like TES, they want to be here first. They want to see how much gold can they grab during this entire play. They will not have the Yone, so up to Creme to get as much done on the side lane as possible.
TP coming in from SeTab. Feather coming up the lane. Still hasn't hit level 6. Double knock up there. Hoya trying to save this play, but oh my god, SeTab is just decimated by the Dominus Rex in 369. The turret's gonna fall too. Grub spawning in perfect synchronicity, and this is top esports at their dominant.
Well, you invested the TP from SeTab, so now you lose the top tier 1. Yone's just gonna keep hitting on this bottom lane tier 1, and hey, why not? Let's just keep sending more objectives our way. TES with a massive fight around that top lane turret. They try to make the dive work, and it pays off in spades for them as TT just look lost around the map.
And again, I said it in draft, but the way that I feel like top esports approach this game is they smelt the weakness. They smelt the wounds in TT in game number 1, and now they're just exposing them even more.
This Renata ult from Crisp is just beautiful. Just gets both.
He was one of the best in the league when she came in.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, that was kind of like one of his strengths, right? Even just last year, you talk about him in Light. I think one of the best combos they had was having this Renata on lock for them. So it's tough now because you're looking at 6 grubs here for TES. You don't win on side lanes. You're already down. And the fact that this dragon is spawning in 2 minutes kind of feels like almost has to be a win here for ThunderTalk. They need to be able to grab this. And every single time we've seen TES make a play on one side of the map, it just feels like ThunderTalk either reinforced and lost on that side or have just done nothing to really progress their game. They are not being very proactive, and TES are like, yes, okay, we will take a very inactive team to just let us take everything on the map.
And TT just holding on to that hope that these item spikes, that this scaling can come through for them, but that light at the end of the tunnel dwindling ever so much. We are on first items for top esports, at least getting closer for Creme and JackeyLove, obviously, since I said they're going to take that stop off to the boots, but more importantly, Leandries for Kanavi and that black cleaver for 369. And that's never a graph you want to see on the left side of your screen when all the names are blue at the top of the list. But it's the reality of the situation, and SeTab might just make that list go a little bit more blue-sided as he's getting 1v1. The flash comes through, and 369 will roar as he takes that top lane 1v1.
369 won't have Dominus, but now SeTab won't have flash for this dragon fight. I mean, They're already late to the play, Lennon. TT are not going to be able to really do much, and this is going to be more of the jungle taken away from Beichuan. He is playing Sejuani, so kind of has already reached his one-item power spike in the Heartsteel. I mean, you're looking at your lanes, though. You noted some of the items coming through here for TES. Creme's about to be level 11 and have a Blade of the Ruin King. Like, this guy's about to run the map on this Yone with 6 grubs.
And that was kind of the wiggle room that Top Esports left for themselves. They went with full-on, like, lane fighting carries with the Kalista, with the Renekton, with the Kanavi, Nidalee. And really that scaling win condition was Creme on the Yone. Well, he's already starting to be a force, and he hasn't even hit that 3-item spike that's like the lethality point for the Yones. So
yeah,
a lot of stuff going Top Esports' way, but as expected coming into this, we are talking about a top 4 placement team here in Group Ascend that needed to show that dominance.
I mean, the fact, again, that TT made it in here was the fact of, you know, they're playing in 4-team groups, and then they're able to at least end top 2. JackeyLove, pretty much he wasn't going to get stunned by that either way, but didn't want to risk a Sejuani coming in off the wings. Look, he didn't want the Sejuani to flash in over the wall with an ultimate coming straight at his face, so I get it. TES, though, they get second dragon. I mean, now they're going to move Renekton over, so any kind of push that 1xN and Feather, they're like, guys, look, we got mid lane. Nope, they're just going to get collapsed upon immediately. It's fake. TT have really not much to do, and we're at that point now, Lennon, where I said at 15 minutes, they have to be at a not distant, you know, pretty big gold lead here for TES.
Yeah.
I think Top Esports are at that point in the game now. 5,000 gold. They're going to get another turret on top of this.
Oh, my God. Yeah, the fact that they're 5,000 gold up 15 minutes into the game is just a sign of the times for TT. And I think it's a little bit difficult with the economic constraints that TT are dealing with now. See if maybe they want to try to find a way out of it. Top Esports circling around this mid lane now to try to take down this last outer tower. Meanwhile, Creme taking a 1v1 into Hoya, rightfully so. He is on that Blade of the Ruin King spike, so going to be scary now. Backs coming through from TT, and Top Esports going to move presence towards this top side of the map. We do still have the Rift Herald coming up in about 30 seconds.
Oh, he got it!
He's
and look at Cree's face!
Having a great time.
Yep, he knows. He knows the mental damage he's just inflicted onto Beichuan, so... Alright. I like how cheeky TES have been in this series, and Lennon, do you smell that?
The comeback?
Do you smell it?
The TT comeback?
It smells like a 6-0. It smells like 6 games. Smells like 6 games.
No, it's not. It is not. It is not going to be 6. That next series is absolutely going to 3 games. There's no way.
Xiaohu has looked better. That's all I'm going to say. As we've now have the Herald spotting here for TES.
I'm going to call you on that. I'm going to call Cap on that. I don't know. We're looking at recent history. I don't know, man. I don't know. Something happened last night. Something happened, man.
That series from
What's
Mr.
funny?
Xiaohu may have a bit of a stinker.
What's funny is, okay, well, TT actually trying to make a play. That might be funny. Crisp is going to dodge away. It's felt like that FPX team has been, like, so close to it. It was going to be one of those top teams that loses. Just happened to be Weibo. But back to this one here. TT trying to scrape up some vision around this Rift Herald fight that Top Esports are brewing for.
6 grubs, you cannot let them get, guys, please. ThunderTalk, we can't give this to them. I don't care if Beichuan has to like flash smite steal this. For the love of God, we can't give over this. We're literally giving everything. This is like, you know, the most prototypical, guys, we're playing scaling. We don't have to contest early. We just give up some objectives and we'll just win. If we give up everything, as long as they don't blow up our Nexus, we can low-key kind of win the game. This is not the play. They are walking in. They are finally taking space, but I just think it's too late. Even Creme is moving over here.
369 trying to get the engage, but gets engaged on himself. He gets the bailout, but it's not nearly enough money to get him out of that situation. TT find the pick, but now Creme on the side looking for SeTab. SeTab going in the rest of the fight. That was a wild move to the left there, trying to dodge out, and the rest of TT scattered to the winds here. Hoya can't find his way around the corner. Gonna have to get his way out of that one too. Has flash available. Might have to use it. Is gonna be bursted down. Does flash. Still maybe going down. Still from Creme. Doesn't end up getting 1xN, but JackeyLove is hop skipping his way to a double kill. And Top Esports, they look like kids on a playground right now. And it's TT that are the monkey bars.
Well, now we're going to be able to see TES. 6 grubs keep firing on these turrets. They win a massive fight there against ThunderTalk, and that is probably going to be the straw that which broke the camel's back here in this game, as even Sejuani has to kind of just stare like, well, I lost 3 of my jungle camps at the very beginning of the game, and unfortunately I've had to play with 4 camps on the bottom side. Maybe I get a scuttle every now and then, but it has not looked good here for ThunderTalk, and the opposite can be said for Top Esports. I mean, it's cool that 369 kind of gives his body up here because you kind of have to wait for some of the damage from JackeyLove and from Kanavi to land, but SeTab just kind of throws himself at Creme. What is this Valkyrie forward, brother?
It's
We
not
don't have
only that,
flash.
it's this step to the left. I'm so curious at why he went further into the mouth of the beast there when all of Top Esports were headed out of that side of things, but maybe just a little bit of spatial awareness while he's flying blind on the Corki, and Top Esports take full advantage.
And this is going to be some missing summoners for Top Esports, so even if ThunderTalk do find a win, if they find, a single fight where they're able to get some shutdowns, it'll feel nice, it'll slow down the game, but still, now with this Rift Herald, they'll have the Otacon spawning in top side. I just don't think it's going to be that realistic for the side of ThunderTalk.
Fate's Call can be used there, so they don't have that one. The Fates combo, Fate's Sealed, Fate's Call. Love to see that on the same team. But Dragon is started up by TT. Can they stop the scaling? Can they stop the avalanche? Here comes the Horn 2. Big engage
Creme
there,
on
but the
flank.
hostile takeover hits on the 3, and Creme now looking for his own entrance here. All of TT starting to lose their health bars. Fates sealed in, and the Fates have been set for Top Esports as they take another Dragon, and that's almost 10,000 gold at 20 minutes into the game. Top Esports running away with this series.
I'm so happy, Lennon. You were like, "Oh, Dimitri, we're gonna get 3 games
6
in
games,
this series.
6
Don't
games,
worry about
6
it.
games.
We're gonna be getting 6 games." TES, if TES somehow loses this game, darn it, I'm logging off. I'm logging off.
All right,
you
all
can have
right,
the third
no.
game by yourself. I'll come back for Weibo AL. You just have the third game
Yeah.
yourself.
Okay, that's fine. I was solo cast. Don't worry about it. Oh,
Yeah.
red buff. So you talk about camels. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm going to take this time to talk about animals. What is
Yep.
what is the weirdest fact about camels that you know?
How much water can they carry? I don't know the actual fact. I just know they carry.
Well,
insane
that's
amounts of
funny
water.
you say that, but they do and they don't, because the thing that you've always known to be water carriers in their humps are actually just fat sacks. Literally, it's just fat. It's not like a big water jug. It's not. It's just like
so it's
thick,
it's Beichuan and Hoya
bulbous
in this game.
fat.
Okay.
Maybe.
Nice.
Sure. But I always thought that was so weird. You always think, like, when you're growing up as a kid, you're like, oh, they're water safe. They're like giant, like, water
Yeah.
bottles. No, it's just giant sacks of fat. But that's how they survive. And when they're hydrated, that's when the sacks are the biggest. So there's my camel fact for the day. Former zoologist, had to get my information in there somewhere. I earned a degree for it, so got to use it.
Do you have anything for boars? Do you have anything for boars? I mean, we're getting set up around Otacon anyway. We still have a herald, by the way, here for TES.
Okay, well, TT seemed to have gotten bored and looked for a fight now, but they might be a little bit too much. Oh, that spear was lethal, damn it.
Let's go, Creme.
JackeyLove will take down Feather, and Creme going for the 2-piece on a Fate Sealed, and that'll be more kills go the way of JackeyLove. TT, they are not in this game any longer, as it's almost over 12,000 gold. The Top Esports are in the lead. It's just a matter of how long it'll take to end.
Now, they look a little lost. Like, are we ending through mid, guys? No, maybe we could do a little bit damage top side. We're even getting a teleport here from 369. They're going to get the Otacon as well. And TES, what else can we say that we haven't already said in this? I hope so. Kalista's moving. Yone hopefully is moving. Creme, my boy. All right, continue the pressure on the mid. Continue. You know what? Actually, link up with your soul laner. Make it so they can't get anything on bottom lane. What did I want to say about TES? This was a really important win. I know it's really fun to understate, like, they're playing against TT. It's probably a good win. Goodbye, Feather. But I think TES really needed this win to help, solidify not only their standing in terms of just the group setting as a whole, but also the community at large, because they've had some questionable games here. They have had to play 4 best of 3s in a week, so needed to see them kind of finish out the week strong.
I am just like, imagine going up to any other teams in the world. I'm even looking at LCK, right? LCK plays a lot of games just like the LPL, but you go up to any professional team in the world, say, hey, you're going to play 4 best of 3s this week in a 7-day calendar week against all the other top teams in the entire league. Like, and it is such a daunting task to preparation, the gameplay, the mental tiredness, and the fact that we're still getting performances like this just praises top esports.
I will say, you look at their matchups. Oh, I'm looking in the picture-in-picture. They're trying to make this play onto JackeyLove, but it's of no use.
That's all she wrote. He's fast. Oh, my God. He goes so fast.
Creme!
Okay.
Oh!
Creme missing everything. Doesn't matter. The lead is big enough. They're looking to go to 20,000 here. Oh, my God. All right, going to be a little bit off of that, but almost 16,000 goal in the lead. Some turrets left to take. Shelly ain't even going to get some gold. Loses 3/4 of her health for no reason. What are you doing, Shelly? Another charge coming through. Is she going to make it? Okay, she gets some worth there. And now we're looking at the final touches. TT not even going to get to respawn, not even going to get to go through. As before the Baron spawns, Top Esports take another blistering game. They are now home to the 2 fastest games of the split, 23.5 minutes against FPX, and now 24.5 minutes there against TT, a 2-0 sweep for the tippy top.
That's what we like to see. So they'll move on forward to 4-1, which is again really exciting to see. I mean, you looked at their past matchups: IG, which was a loss; FPX a 2-0; Weibo a 2-1, and then AL. They ended up going at the very beginning of the split and finding that victory. I think this is a really exciting roster. Again, coming back from first hand, we were kind of laughing at them a little bit. We did our rounds, but we got to come back to earth here. TES want to be able to not only qualify immediately into playoffs, but they want a repeat of Split 1 success.
They do indeed, and with performances like that, I mean, absolutely got to be willing to follow that train there. Again, the kings of domestic dominance, but trying to figure out what that means on a larger scale of things. And again, that top 4 placement here in this group ascend, all important to try to get that free ticket into the playoffs of LPL Split 2 and try to be one of our MSI representatives. But what a series. I think TT, they're going to wonder what the hell even happened in that second game. I'm sure game 1 a lot closer, though. I mean, it was dead even as we went to like 15, 20 minutes and then just exploded. So still a lot of pieces left to pick up for TT.
That has just been the problem, though, because even in that first game, we were talking about having to play the map really wide. Well, ThunderTalk have not always been very successful at being able to play the map at a larger scale. Even when they did with things like the Aurora or the Rise, individuals get caught out, especially SeTab in the mid lane. So kind of just feels like we are a team fighting team who's trying to break out of our identity against one of the best teams in the league. Doesn't feel like that's going to be the recipe for success. And then game 2, I mean, I'll just be honest, they just got outclassed in every single one of these lanes.
Dude, and honestly, Top Esports, I feel like could be super proud. I mean, all the teams get like a 4-series weekend, or week at least. But to come out 3-1 out of 4 series in a single week, that feels pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, pretty competitive in most of their series, like we were saying. I mean, the fact that they took AL, who looks to be one of the best teams in the league, they took them to 3, still ended up winning that. I'll be honest, that was a series where I was like, oh, cool, AL won game 1. I'm going to bed. I'll see you guys later. To be fair, it was like 6 in the morning, so I was like, I'm fair for doing that one. So I woke up, see 2-1. I was like, I got to go back in the clips for this one. I got to go watch the game. All right. Okay, guys.
Now looking forward a little bit, especially for Top Esports, they will have a couple days break, I believe. Then they'll be facing off against WE, but that's just an appetizer because then they have that Giga Banger BLG versus Top Esports matchup later on in that next week. And that one's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of at least standings implications for the first half of the round robin here.
And I want to also kind of look at their opponents when we talk about ThunderTalk, right? Like their strength of schedule does not get any easier. Next matchup is going to be against Anyone's Legend. Already tough there. I think maybe you get a break against a team like Ninjas in Pajamas, who have been inconsistent at times. But then you're going up against WE, who I think coming into this split, we'd have been like, yeah, this should just be a ThunderTalk 2-0. But WE, despite not winning a lot of their series or any games, they've had a lot of competitive games in the same way that ThunderTalk has. So that might actually be a lot closer than we were expecting.
Yeah, I mean, that one's going to be a lot of fun, too. But this series was all top esports. One of the T's has to come off the ThunderTalk name. I don't know. That's what we said at the beginning. We have to stick with it.
Thunder Gaming. See you later, brothers.
Thunder Gaming. No more talking. Who do you think gets MVP, though, for top esports?
I feel like it has to be Creme this time, though. Like,
yeah?
He should have gotten it maybe last game. I'm still on the fence about Kanavi's Nidalee. I feel like we didn't see a whole lot. Wouldn't be surprised. I think if I have to give it to at least like one or two, it's either going to be Creme or it's going to be JackeyLove. I think JackeyLove Kalista was just really impeccable for a large portion of this game.
I'm struggling here. Part of me is having a hangover from the last game of like Crisp had 2 pretty decent games and he deserves love. But they're gonna look at it as singular game performance and not take any of that Alistar gaming into the fold. I think it has to be Creme then. I guess like he got multiple.
You look at all these replays, right?
Seals.
Like all of these replays are gonna almost basically be him in some fashion joining up, except for this one. Except for this one.
This one was
close.
A little close. But like this one, just really big follow-up. It was always him coming into the fights just a little bit offset from the rest of the team, which actually paid dividends there. And you have to remember, I mean, it was a B1 Yone. So definitely getting a lot of value from both B1s today from Top Esports. And I still got to wonder, what was the play at Top TT? What was the
not only
red
did they
side plan?
Yeah. They went to red side. They chose red side after losing game 1 and having no option in terms of the side select from the 1v1.
And they had one on red side.
I feel like they really ruined their draft when they decide. Like, I don't know if it necessarily was the Sejuani pick in isolation, but the fact that we didn't really pair it with anything and then decided we're going for like this full scaling, I feel like at that point just give over the Sejuani. Pick something that you're a little bit more comfortable with or something that's going to give you something to play through because you have a losing lane top lane. You can try to go even in mid, but Yone can just trade his HP onto this Corki. And then bottom lane is a flip, basically. So I feel like there was a lot like, Coach, we got to talk. If we're going to be – if the BLG fans are going to be mad at Maokai and Big Way, we got to have a talk with Afe. That's just how it goes. We got to be true.
That's just how it goes. We'll be getting to our MVP here soon after that 2-0 from Top Esports. I know I'm getting really excited to get into that next series. We have to wait. We have to give our accolades. We have to see who ends up taking that MVP vote. Is there any gleaning information, anything nice for TT out of this one, or is it just you walk away from it? Creme gets it, by the way.
I think you're looking forward to that AL matchup, guys.
I think you're just looking at the next. All right, there we go.
I think we're going to the next game, boys.
Anyways, Creme. It's just how it be, man. That's just how the LPL is.
Yep.
They'll chew you and spit you out.
Great job, Creme. You deserved it last game. I think you got robbed. There was another series, I think in Split 1, where you played a Kali, and I also said you deserve it, and then you didn't grab it. So I'm glad we can give you an MVP where we can.
That was vintage Creme, man. That felt really... Yes. Any Creme believers? Cubby, did you watch that series? Anyways. See if any love. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to take a little break. We're going to get ready for that next series. You're not going to want to miss it. AL versus Weibo.